Well, first of all, happy Father's Day for the couple of fathers we have here. And I have 4 books. One of them I didn't put out, and I'm going to talk about that today. 23 years ago, I wrote this first book. Imagine that, 23 years ago. My God. I'm only 35 today. I can't say this. The book was called Positive Affirmation to Live By. And it did very well for itself, for the first book. I put it to one side, and then I had this woman come in for a reading. She was very popular with the school system down in Melbourne. And she liked the book so much she wanted additional books made up that she could give her teachers, because everybody was depressed at that time. Talking about then, what about now? The book was, so it went over very well. The book that I wrote was about being positive and staying positive. And we need to get back to that again. We really do. Because when you start talking to people today, if you ask them how they're doing, they say, what do you mean by that? What's the problem? You almost got to have a fist fight. So people are really down right now. So we need to stay positive, be positive, and maintain that positiveness within ourselves. One of the things I wrote in the book was, when you think positive thoughts, you will produce positive results. And think about that for a minute. If you think positive about what you're going to do in life, those things will be positive coming into you. And most of the time we think negative about things. We always do that. We're human. We get up in the morning and say, I don't want to confront this, I don't want to confront that. Instead of saying, I can do it. I can do it. Why not? If you have a good outlook and a positive nature about yourself, all these things will come into you. One of the things I put in the book is planting a garden. Now trust me, I couldn't do it today. But I used to like to grow tomatoes up in New England, Massachusetts. And they'd come out real great. But first of all, you had to cultivate the soil. Then you put the stuff in, you did a lot of work to get it to come out right. We all know that. It's the same thing with being positive. We have to set our subconscious mind to be more positive, getting away from the negative aspect of things. We don't want to get into the economy and all that stuff today. You don't have to be a PhD to understand what's going on. So we have to change our thinking of being more positive about what's happening now. That things will change if we think about it in unison. Now the aura, which is very interesting, because I teach a lot on the aura, most mediums can't see the colors of the aura. But there's more to the aura than they're teaching today. You can actually feel the vibration of a person through the aura. For example, if I went over to give her a hug, her husband will kill me. But you can sense the aura. You can pick up the vibrational frequency of that aura. And some auras are very expansive. You can be sitting over in the back with that lady sitting in the back there and feel that energy. That's because the individual is very positive. Likewise, you can be so negative, you say, I wonder why I like that person. But there's something about that person that doesn't make any sense. It's because they're always way in. And you can sense it. So we need to get back to doing that. Now, why do I say that? Well, because of the fact that Spiritualist has many functions. We have to help ourselves, number one, because we can't help anyone else, we can't help ourselves. That's not being egotistical, that's just being factual. The second part of that is to get out and help others. Help others. You don't have to preach spiritualism, but you can help them be positive, that they will understand it's coming from somewhere. If we look at God, the infinite intelligence, you know, God's got many names. But let's say infinite intelligence. We have to realize that God, power, was a very positive entity. Look at the world we have. Forgetting what's going on right now, but look at the world as it is. It's beautiful. Of all the planets out there and the stars and the system and our solar system we know about, the Earth is gorgeous. We have great lakes and birds and everything else. It's wonderful. It's mankind that kind of has a vicissitude of life, an up and down swing. So God, the infinite spirit, had to be very positive. Your guides who are with you, because each and every one of you sit in the congregation today, has a guide with you. They're positive, but we don't listen. You know, we think we know all the answers. They keep yelling at us. I have one guy that keeps yelling at me all the time. Constantly. I listen to her, but a lot of people have trouble with that because they say it's just my imagination. Well, these guides with you are not imagination. They're actually there for you. They love you. They want to help you. They want to have you go on the right track that you need to follow. They want to make you positive as well. Don't forget, the guides on the other side see things a lot different than we do. We only see part of the world. We actually see part of our other things. They see the total picture. So we got to get back to being positive, not tomorrow morning, but right now, before you leave the congregation. I'm going to stand out the door and take a test. How's that? If you start today, it will grow and grow and grow. I've said this to so many people. I said, if you started today, the next time I see you, you're going to be different. And sure enough, they started, and what a difference in them. So we have to do that. Having fun, so I have a lot of fun, as you know. I really have fun. I was down at one of the restaurants one night, and the girls were a little crowded, and the girl said to me, can you pass out the menus? I said, sure, give me the menus. So I went over, there's a group of them sitting there like this, very somber. And I said, I'm passing these menus out, but I'm coming back in 5 minutes. I'm going to give you a test on the contents of the menu. And they all started laughing. So we need to do something to break up that part of being negative. Can we do it? Of course. Why not? No one in the congregation is any different than I am. That helped me out in business, by the way. Because when I went in, got out of college, I was taking an old business over. And I really had to learn very quickly. So I depended on my spirit guide for being positive and staying that way. And by the time I was done, I doubled the business. Because spirit was with me, but I became more positive about things. And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. I gave a lecture up at Casa Diego one time. There was a group standing there, and the teacher said, go and teach them something. I said, great. So I said, who do you love? One girl said, I love my cat. Somebody said, I love my dog. I said, oh, great. This is going well. This couple who was getting married turned to her and said, I love so-and-so. I said, smart move. You better say that. But one woman up in the back of the group said, I love who I am. Love who I am. I said, you come down here. You get the gold star for your shirt. If you don't love who you are, you can't love anyone else. It's very impossible. But that's also being positive, too. It's not egotistical. It's being positive. So when you leave here today, think about it. And I hope that many of you, instead of thinking, will do something about it. Change it around. Because as you do that, you'll help many more around you to change as well. Because God, the Infinite Spirit, wants us to be positive. And so does our guides. And I thank you.